Greetings and welcome to the Orthamerica video blog. My name is Father Carlos Miranda. I consider myself to be an Orthodox Christian, and I serve as a priest in a small Anglican mission parish in Miami, Florida. I decided to start this blog because I have two driving passions in my life. One, to reach out and to present and introduce the Orthodox Christianity that once existed throughout the whole world to a contemporary people who have no clue regarding this most ancient form of Christianity. And secondly, my desire and my hope with this blog is to dialogue with anyone who might be interested in the future of Christianity in America. I, for one, am firmly convinced that Western Christendom has seen its end. And there are many reasons for this conviction, such as the dwindling numbers of those who call themselves Christians, in addition to the even more dwindling numbers of those in attendance at our churches on any given day. But perhaps the most important and significant sign that Christianity is dwindling is our influence upon our Western culture. None can doubt that the influence that Christianity exerts on the world around it today is minimal, if not non-existent. Consequently, we Western Christians have suffered from what C.S. Lewis once called the abolition of man. In his book by the same title, Lewis described what he observed taking place in the middle of the 20th century world as the death of the Tao within the average person, and thus the death of humanity. This is what he meant by the abolition of man. Let me paraphrase Lewis's thesis this way. He described the construct of a human person as having three parts: one, mind; the other, heart or Tao; and the last one, stomach or passions. The mind is that place where the intellect rules. Knowledge, theory, and abstract experience are originate there and exert their influence from there. The Tao, which I will call the heart, Lewis calls that part of man where we know a thing intrinsically. Perhaps that's best known as the spirit. It's the place where we make contact with God and where we instinctively know good from evil, beauty from ugliness, and all that is right from all that is wrong. Then thirdly, there is the stomach. This is the place of every appetite. This is where our hunger for food, sex, money, and power originate. It is what the early people who called themselves Christians called the passions. The concern that Lewis voiced was over the neglect of this middle part of the human being, the part he called the Tao, or the heart, and it's being overridden by either the intellect or the stomach. Lewis saw that Western civilization was beginning to unravel because it had set this heart aside and instead given full credence to either our unrestrained appetites or to our limited intellects. The result of this, he promised, would be a people who are no longer fully human. Consequently, the question that I'm going to be addressing in these video blogs will be, how can we begin to heal our hearts so that we can be human once again? I should state that to do this, and I believe we can do this, there are many falsities that have to be defeated. Particularly false gospels are to be torn down, and new and proper, correct ones are to be erected. In short, we must rediscover orthodoxy. To do so, there are several areas that must be addressed. First is history. We must become knowledgeable about our past. Second is philosophy. We must get a reasonable grasp on how it is that we think and how it got to be so. And thirdly is psychology. Here we must get to the bottom of the human condition and psyche and expose it for what it is. I consider these areas to be the doorways to Orthodox Christianity, which I am convinced is the only means of restoring a person to the full status of humanity. In this video blog, I'm going to strive to do all that I can to be of assistance and help in this great land we call America, to rediscover Christianity, that Christianity of the undivided church. My first endeavor will be a series called The History of the Western Mind, Heart, and Stomach. I invite you to join me.